just want to touch it.
Are you taping?
I just want to touch it.
Okay, so we're gonna make 1 hour cinnamon rolls. They are delicious and quick to make. These are the ingredients. This is Sophia, my assistant. Sophia's gonna help me. Okay, so we have warm water. We have 3.5 cups of warm water. And here we have 3/4 cup of white sugar. We have 1/2 cup of oil. And we have 6 tablespoons of yeast. We use olive oil because in our house we don't use regular oil. That's what we use as our replacement for oil. We use it for everything. So you'll get the same result. Okay, so we're gonna mix all of this together in one big bowl.
I could do that.
I just put the water in the microwave for 1 minute. Yeah, and Sophia's gonna help me. Do you wanna put the sugar in, honey?
Right now?
Yeah. You do it nicely, that's okay. Okay, and there's the sugar.
Now mix it.
You can put the yeast in.
Put all of it in.
Yeah, and then the oil. And do it. There you go.
Now mix it.
You can mix it, yeah. And then we're going to let that sit slowly, slowly. Okay, we're gonna let that sit for 15 minutes. So now we have the water mixture with the yeast and the oil and the sugar is sat for 15 minutes. So we're ready to add 3 eggs. Sophia, do you want to do this?
Yeah, I'm gonna mix it. It's my mix.
You don't have to mix it yet, honey. We're just gonna add the salt. Can you add the salt?
Yeah.
And don't dump it too high like Mommy did. Salt. And that is 1 teaspoon of salt. Actually, that was a tablespoon. Tablespoon.
Mix.
And no, not yet, honey.
That?
Yes. So we're gonna add
Some
10.5 cups of flour. It could be white. I know my kids like the white stuff, or you can mix it half whole grain or whole wheat and half white, and it still tastes just as good. So we're gonna add that in. We're gonna mix
All of
it.
it?
So about half of it we're gonna add in. We're gonna mix it with a spoon.
Mix?
We're not gonna mix with that. Do you wanna mix it with your spoon?
No,
Here you go.
this.
Mix it with this spoon and just mix it nicely. Yeah. So we're gonna mix that, kind of cover it as much as you can. And after we add all the flour, we're gonna mix it and use our hands in there for about 10 minutes. Slowly, baby, slowly. And yeah, so for about 10 minutes we'll do that. And we'll preheat the oven, then we'll move on to our next step. But for now, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna mix in all the flour slowly. Okay, so now that we have mixed everything together, we mixed it by hand for about 10 minutes. Now we're gonna let this sit. It's kind of in the shape of a ball. It's not too sticky. So after it's not too sticky, you could just let it sit for another 10 minutes and then we preheated the oven to 400. It's still working its way up. So we'll let this sit for 10 minutes and we'll come right back. A tablespoon of cinnamon, good cinnamon.
Hello.
And we have some oil that we're gonna use to spread on the counter to actually roll our dough. And 1 cup of brown sugar. And some butter, okay?
This.
So we're gonna mix, and the butter is 1/4 cup of butter. So here we're gonna mix our brown sugar and cinnamon. Sophia, do you wanna mix it?
Happy, 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 happy.
Mini sigh. Okay, so you mix this together. There you go. So you can mix it up, mix it nicely.
Happy, happy, happy.
And that's a mixture for the cinnamon buns.
Okay, so now that the oven is preheated to 400, we have our flour dough. We're gonna spread some oil on the counter, not flour, because the flour I find doesn't work near as good as the oil. But just a little bit of olive oil. It's about a 1/4 cup. That's what I have in this little container. And I will show you what we do with the sugar and cinnamon mixture and the butter. First we're gonna mix the cinnamon and the sugar. We're gonna let it sit. We're gonna melt the butter. I do it for about 20, put it in for about 20 seconds on high. We're gonna take out our dough. Sophia, your hands still clean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're gonna cut this in half. So our butter is all melted. We're not gonna touch this, okay? So we're gonna cut this in half, and we're gonna work with half of it. And we're gonna do the same thing to both sides. It's just dividing the big portion of it. So, gonna roll this, roll it out, kind of into a rectangular shape, nice and long. So it's gonna be like this wide, probably to here, all together. Make it nice and flat.
Can you like that, Mom?
Mm-hmm. We go this way. I need a bigger counter. It should be nice and easy to do. Like, this shouldn't be too tough. You shouldn't be struggling to do this if it mixed nicely. So we're gonna move this over. Just so we have a little bit more room. Okay. I'm gonna lift it up.
No. I could do
You
some.
Keep going. You want to do some?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mix.
Same thickness
rolling.
everywhere. Here, honey, can I borrow this, please?
Yeah.
And just, it's gonna be a nice big one. Rectangular shape. We're gonna spread the butter on it. I just use this little brush, spread the butter on it.
Mom, I could do some.
You wanna do some too, honey?
Yeah.
There you go. And do it gentle. Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
That's okay. Okay, and while she does that, I can take some too. I'm just gonna do it with my hand here. Gonna do this. So we don't want this too thick, but we want to leave some butter left over for the other half because we're gonna do the same thing. Okay, honey, we're done with that part. So we're gonna take our brown sugar and cinnamon mixture, and we're just gonna go and sprinkle it everywhere. Sophia and I do this all the time, so she's a pro at this. Right, Sophia?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes. You want to put on a pretty good amount, like you don't want to chintz out. You want to cover the whole thing, not thick, and like the little clumps, you can kind of squish them a bit.
I
Okay.
could pat it down, just my pad the same.
Yeah, if you want.
And pat it down, just my pad.
Just the clumps. And just get, and then you just want to get it everywhere, kind of on the edge and middle, about the same amounts. Not that it's going to be possible to do it exactly the same everywhere, but. Okay. Just keep going. So here we have is a cup of brown sugar and a tablespoon of cinnamon. Okay, that's good, baby. Not too much, because we want to make sure to have some left over for the other half, okay? So now that we've done this, we're going to roll it up.
Okay.
Roll it up this way, honey. This way. We're going to pick it up and roll gently and slowly. Hang on. We're going to roll it up. Roll. Okay, Sophia, honey, hang on a second. You're going too fast. Okay, and just leave it there. That's good. That side is good. Don't squish it down. We don't want to roll it too tight. You just kind of pick it up and let it roll itself almost, pretty much. You can make it a little bit tighter, but you want it to be pretty loose. Pretty loose for the most part.
Mom, I could eat some.
Yeah, you can eat it. It's fine. We don't sell these, so it's okay. It's just for the family, so she wants to eat it. Okay, then we're going to cut this into about 2-inch wide chunks. So I just go down and keep going. Sometimes I can get 12 or sometimes just 10, whatever. Okay, honey, hang on. Back up. Here we go. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So pretty close.
Mom, I
We're
could
gonna
move
put
over there.
those
Mom, I could
in
move over
here.
there.
You're fine there. Just sit there quietly. So we're gonna put these in here. I've greased this pan just so that they don't stick. You make sure to grease the sides because as they're growing, they'll stick everywhere if you don't. So it's really important to have a grease
Okay,
pan.
see them digging to see ya?
Yeah, because they stick to there. Yeah, and just do it gently and put them down, not too close. How about you pass them to Mom? Mom will do it.
No.
We have them just ready to go into the oven. We have 13, so we'll kind of try to stick one in here. This one's gonna be the runt. It's gonna. Okay, so this is our other half. The dough, we've rolled it out, put the butter on it and the cinnamon sugar, and we've cut them. And we're gonna put them into the oven for 12 to 15 minutes. We're just gonna join the other batch at 400. Then when they're ready to go, we're gonna
Eat them!
put some frosting on them that we're gonna make in a little bit. So this is our first batch. And
put on
we're
icing?
just gonna put the icing on top. So what we've done, we got the icing ready to go. We have mixed just basically just a little bit of milk, 6 cups of icing sugar. But we're just gonna put, when we mix it, it's just, you put the icing sugar in a bowl and put as much milk as you need, just a little bit, like a tablespoon at a time. And this is what we got. So Sophia here is gonna ice our cinnamon buns that have been sitting for a bit. They're nice and cool now, so, well, warm, but she can do that now. The pot, yeah, the pot's a little bit hot. Do you want to ice these or do you want Mommy to do it?
I want you to ice them.
Okay, so we're just gonna do a whole bunch. Like,
Mama, I
don't
found
be
it.
shy and put a whole ton on it. And we use quite a
Mom, I
bit.
can have a lick.
Of course you can have some as soon as they're done. It's basically what I do. I just get it everywhere.
Mom, I
can
can have a
go-
lick of it. I can eat that on that.
Yes, you can have whatever one you want.
And that one. Mom.
So we're gonna go, you can ice them one by one. Nice and fluffy. Just basically like a tablespoon of vanilla, 6 cups of icing sugar, and your milk, you just add it in by the tablespoon as you need it with the hand mixer. And if you don't have time to do that, go to the store and buy some stuff already made, because no shame in that. You do what you gotta do. So